Hey, lady, what's going on? Hope everybody had a decent weekend and pretty good Monday. Free the Menendez brothers. I have a funny feeling they're going to get free. Yes, I am, lady. Actually, I was just listening to that song and I cracked up laughing so hard I don't give a fuck what anybody said. That song is always going to be Zanny Sammy's song because, oh my god. And if you're wondering what the song is, Punky, it's called Voices. If you ever watch wrestling, it's Randy Orton's theme song. And um, if you really listen to the words of the song and you know that fucking airhead Samantha, the song is her. The song is definitely Samantha. Yeah, like I said earlier about the Menendez brothers, I think when they went to trial, there was a lot of stuff that was left out of their trial, and I believe the psychiatrist should have been made to testify with what they had said to him because I think it would have turned around and, hey Mills, I think it would have turned around the whole face of the Menendez brothers trial. I do believe to an extent, from what I've been seeing in other documentaries, I do believe Kyle and Lyle and Eric's father, uh, whatever the fuck his name is, I do believe he did something to those boys. I do believe it. Hey, Tupac. Ooh, congrats on being a grandma, Punky. Yeah, like I said, I do believe they should have done some jail time, but to be to be fully 30 some years later, and I do believe that the psychiatrist should have been made to testify. The psychiatrist knew of the abuse, but because of all the red tape, he couldn't say nothing. And I believe if the psychiatrist had been made to testify, the face of that trial would have been totally different. I think the jurors would have been swayed to give them the lesser charge. I believe they would have been paroled like maybe 20 years ago. I It's hard to say, Punky, because I don't think that they would even be a threat now. I do, like I said, I do believe the father did something to, if he didn't do it to both of them, he did it to one. And I would probably say he did it to the youngest one, and I think Lyle's the oldest one. I think he might have been molesting Eric, and Lyle found out about it, and Lyle lost his shit. And I believe they took their anger out on the mother because she knew it was happening and did nothing to stop it. And like I said, I've been watching a lot of the true crime. Like I hang over at Dago's. I talk in there, but like I watch a lot of what he's doing, and after what 20 some years, there's finally a break in the Morgan Nick case. Like, oh my god, like could they possibly find this little girl's body, or like they've got a suspect now. So I mean, like Morgan Nick case, like after 20 some years, they've got a suspect. Like, could he show them? I don't know if this guy. I can't remember if they said the guy's dead or not, but he tried to do the same thing to another little girl a couple of months later. and there's a break in the Asha Degree case. She's been missing, God, well over 20 years. It's amazing now what DNA can do now compared to what it did then. Look them up, Punky. Morgan Nick was a little girl who was abducted from, she was playing in the parking lot at a ball game with a bunch of her friends, and she was abducted. The last time the friends seen her, she was leaning up against a red truck cleaning dirt out of her shoe. And the kids ran and they never seen her, and the kids told them exactly, and was just like 20 some years later, there's finally a break in the case. Um, Asha or Aisha Degree was, I believe, a 10-year-old little girl who just decided in the middle of the night to up and leave her house. Nobody broke in, nobody nothing, because her parents weren't rich, but they weren't poor. They lived in a 2-bedroom apartment, and she shared a room with her brother. And her brother just thought she was getting up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom and never thought nothing of it. And she up and left. Like, well, yeah, what kind of mom does that? A shitty mom. Well, from documentaries I've seen, Kitty turned her head to a lot of stuff her husband did. Like, she openly knew he was cheating on her. Like, she openly knew. And he flaunted it in front of her. But I just think, like, they were they were wrongly, I don't want to say wrongly, they were convicted in the eyes of the media before there was ever any trial, because in my opinion everybody grieves differently. uh Now, I think if, say, after they were murdered and they were grieving, like crying and all this bullshit all this time, they'd still be fucking prosecuted for, oh, look at that, those crocodile tears, they didn't cry. They were wrongful. They were prosecuted and found guilty in the eyes of the media before there was ever a trial. Watch now with all this Diddy shit coming out, you'll find Eric and Lyle's father on fucking P. Diddy's party list or something. Like, you know. I think a lot of, with this shit going down with P. Diddy, I think a lot of fucking celebrities that partied her up at these secret parties with him better be fucking scared. I do believe it to an extent that P. Diddy did something to Justin Bieber. Um, do I know what he didn't know? But I do believe something happened, because I believe that when Justin Bieber came to Hollywood, he was like a 15, 16-year-old kid. He was trusting to everybody, and I do believe Diddy's done something to him. That's why Justin Bieber acts out the way he does now. Um, do I believe all along that Hollywood, for years, has had, I don't want to say a pedo ring, but I will say they've had for years favoritisms towards actors under the age of 18. I do believe that to an extent, because if you go back and look at some of the documentaries in the golden ages of Hollywood, I will say, okay, dating back to Judy Garland, MGM, Universal. They had her under a strict contract at the time she was like 14, 15, when she did The Wizard of Oz, a strict diet of cigarettes and coffee. women actresses back then were put under a contract that they were not allowed to marry unless the production company that they were signed with approved. Um, if they were considered a sex symbol and they got pregnant, they were to automatically terminate it. Like, the name Lana Turner is coming to mind because under that sort of scenario, because they used to sit there and instead of saying like a Hollywood actress was sick, they would say, "Oh, Lana Turner is in the hospital for an earache." That was their way of saying that she had an abortion. Yeah, Marilyn Monroe. I believe Marilyn Monroe knew something. I don't believe the Kennedys killed her. I believe she knew something. Maybe she was going to expose JFK. Maybe she was. Who knows? But I do believe that she was murdered. And another fine example of what happened to Hollywood. Now there's 3 or 4 different stories that yes, Charlie Sheen molested Corey Haim. Then they're saying it didn't happen. Then they're saying it did. I would hate to think Charlie Sheen did that, but when he was kind of inadvertently named as being the one that did it because they said he was molested during filming the movie License to Drive by a big name actor, and that was the only big name actor in that movie. Now, Charlie Sheen, he could have been set up to be the fall guy, who knows? But I mean, like, Charlie Sheen really needs to come out and clear that up. Because, I mean, he stopped acting on 2.5 Men when it came out that he was HIV positive. And I mean, 2.5 Men was a funny ass show. But for him to come out and say, no, I'm not doing that anymore because of because of what I got, like, I have no idea. And it's now coming out too with all that P Diddy shit. It's now being alleged that P Diddy was behind Biggie being shot. Biggie Smalls, I think that was his name, the rapper, Notorious B.I.G. Yeah, and I literally said to somebody like, "What the fuck is he gonna?" And I said, "Is he literally going to be accused of that too?" Because there's another case after almost 30 some years. There's a break in the Tupac case. Hey, Morty. Yeah, pretty much, Punky. You want to make it in Hollywood, that's exactly what's got to happen, pretty much. Or you got to be like a little kid. Like, I do believe if Hollywood had stepped up years ago and paid attention to what the fuck was going on with that little girl, Judith Barcy, she'd have never been murdered by her father. They fucking knew that that man was emotionally and verbally and physically abusing his daughter and wife and did fuck all. If they had heeded the fucking warning signs, that little girl might not have been killed. She had such a bright future in front of her, it wasn't even funny. Oh, we're just talking about different things that Hollywood's fucking up for. Like, Morty, if you look up the story of the little girl Judith Barcy, she was a child actress, and at the age of 10, her father shot and killed her and her mother. But he he was German, and he was very jealous and paranoid, and he was an alcoholic and everything. Like, she did movies like All Dogs Go to Heaven. One of her last scenes is she plays the little girl, I think Christine, and she's talking to the dog Charlie, and they're talking about, she said, Charlie, will I ever get to see you in heaven or something? And Charlie's line was, "You will one day, kid." That was her one of her last lines in there. She played Ducky in the Land Before Time series, and I do believe she was in Jaws too. And they knew something was going on because she was pulling her hair out, like she was ripping her eyelashes out, and nobody did fuck all to help this little girl and her mother. The mother was trying to get away from him. And then one night, the neighbors called 911. The house was on fire, and they go in, and here's Judith with a gunshot to her head. And her father put her and her mother in a bedroom and lit them on fire, and he went out in the garage and shot himself. Hey, Wolf Den. But it's just like, and I'd like to go into New York sometime. The Amsterdam Theater. Apparently, they say that that's haunted with the ghost of Olive Thomas. I'd like to go see if that's actually true. And there's because she's buried in the cemetery in, I can't think if it's New York or New Jersey, but she's buried in a little mausoleum that's built for two people. That was supposed to be her and her husband Jack Pickford. Morty and her ghost hunting. But yeah, like I'd like to do stuff like that because they're saying she haunts the Amsterdam Theater. Um, there's a hotel, the Roosevelt Hotel, supposedly haunted too. It's got supposedly ghosts of Carol Lombard, Clark Gable, Montgomery Clift, Marilyn Monroe. Um, there's quite a few of them there supposedly in there. Oh, Jesus Christ. Morty, no, you know how you answer that one? Say, "Hun, I don't want to go to a house where there's demons. Do you not see what I have to fucking battle on YouTube?" I think I've heard of that house out in Texas. I think it's called Hell House. A lot of fucking people will not fuck with that. Zach Bagans won't even go there. And I mean, Zach Bagans goes to a lot of places, but when it's houses like that, and even he says fuck no, then this place is bad. Yeah, that's the one. Zach Bagans won't even go near there. I don't even think Ghost Adventures crew will go there. I can't say that I blame him. I'd be like, "Sorry, not today. Nope." Well, then I'm not in good enough shape to catch ghosts. Oh, Jesus, yeah, no. Nope. I'd be like, fuck that. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. Speaking of demons, hell, YT's been caught fucking around under different names again. That girl's not gonna learn. And I know Wolf Den, you're friends with her, I get that, but dude, keep your head on a fucking swivel with her. Oh yeah, Morty, she's using She's using names of people that used to troll really fucking bad back in the day. Uh, Somebody messaged me the whole bunch of fucking names. I'll have to DM them to you. But she's gotta fucking stop, because these people that she's using their names, they're around. And but see, YT don't realize that they're around. Like, oh my fuck. Something Hacksaw. There's a name, something Hacksaw, that used to fuck around with Haley and Chief. She's using that person's name. Um, she's using the name of somebody in Wicked that was in Wicked Wayland's community, and Wicked Wayland is still around because I've seen him in other communities. Um, yeah, and she's going around, running around, telling people in chats that people are working with a level 3 pedophile, which would be Mark Rydell. So she's playing a dangerous game. And the minute they get called, that she gets called out, she changes her name. That could have been. It's hard to say. Like, I don't really pay attention to what Cotty's doing. I don't know what it was saying. I just knew, like, you went in there last night. I think Steve shared out your link, and then somebody said after that there was a fake Morty in there. Yeah, isn't it weird how, like, people get obsessed with other people on YouTube? Like, but Morty, hey, at least if Cotty's obsessed with you, at least she ain't saying that she wants to break into your house and all the sick shit that YT used to say about me. Yeah, well, Wolf Den, I seen one that was like Wolf Den Archives, and I got people watching it to see what's going on there, because I told them, like, some things that you would say, but if I said if it's doxing or attacking anybody's kids or bringing them up, I said that's definitely not you. Because I said the real Wolf Den would not fucking do that. Yeah. Haters and stalkers could be fans, but then there's obsessed, and it's just like, nope, get me the fuck out of here. Yeah, I know. That's why I told them that Wolf Den doesn't do that. But we've seen, like, Wolf Den Archives accounts and stuff like that. They're trying to pretend to be him, and I literally said, if that's who the fuck I think it is, may God have mercy on their soul. Yeah, I can't remember what this picture is, but I don't think it's a wolf with on a fidget spinner. Because I'm telling you, Wolf Den, I know you're friends with YT, but you got to keep your goddamn head on a swivel with her. She can sit there and say that she's not around and all this bullshit, but she is. Because, like, I don't have an issue with Kamisha. Kamisha's staying in her lane, I'm in mine. And YT still follows her around. YT has a sick obsession with her and with fucking Elmo and anybody that I'm friends with. She has a really sick obsession with them. And Morty, like, it was even worse. Like, when you were friends with Rachel, she was obsessed with Rachel too. And Oh, here's the other account last night they caught her on, Morty. Um, there was a fake faux popper account. I'll say it, a fake popper account in this chat, and it said something too. And I said, "Do you think that that account is YT?" And they said, "Oh yeah, it's her on a fake popper account." I don't know, like Morty, she used to sit there in DMs with me and say, I don't trust Rachel. Like, she bashed Rachel quite a bit to me. And I'm like, I didn't really interact with Rachel unless it was in your chats. So, like, I don't know. Like, I kind of wondered, did she follow Rachel around? Was she one of the ones stalking Rachel? And Rachel mistakenly thinking it was somebody else? Yeah, well, this fake Popper account, it said something about, I'll have to show you the screenshot because I'm quite certain it said something about working with a level 3 sex offender, and I knew that that was not Popper. Like, yeah, because I mean, like, and I know how YT rolls, and I know like a lot of people don't like Jen Green and Tina, and with the shit that they're both putting out, I'm not. You know what? I can almost guarantee I could put money on it right now. YT has made troll accounts and is trolling them with different shit that they've said. I guarantee it. Oh yeah, that's what I get, Wolf Den, right? Like, okay, Mark Rydell, like he does. I don't know. As far as I know, he's doing his own thing. I've never encountered the guy, never had, conversation with him, never anything. And this is all I keep hearing is this Mark Rydell, Mark Rydell. And YT literally keeps saying under troll accounts that different people are working with him. And I mean, like, yeah, he's fucked up, he did whatever. I don't know, I can't even begin to comment on that. Yeah, well, that's what I agree with when you said the other night, Morty, on your stream. Um, or was it on your stream? Or what? Might have been on Steve's. I agree with that fact. She probably has no idea about any of the stuff that's been going on for the last year, and she's just being filled in. Like, um, I think you guys mentioned the other night about Tina saying how she could never forgive Jen Green for, I forget what you guys said she claimed Jen Green did. Well, shouldn't the same shoe be on Jen's foot? Shouldn't she also be saying she should never forgive Tina? Because back after AGP died, when Michael was doing all those fucking skits, and Doug was over there trying to help fix the house, Tina admitted herself that she went in there and took pictures of Jen's house and her backyard and stuff like that. And Tina admitted she's the one that called CPS on Jen. Well, this is what I was kind of wondering about, Morty. Remember last year, or it might have been earlier this year, when Tina went to the third party about the trailer, Remember how she got Rachel up there and she said that Rachel read all the paperwork to see if it was legit? I'm almost certain Red Pill bought that fucking trailer. Now, if Red Pill bought that trailer, did he take it back? Because I remember, I can't remember who might have the clip, but I do remember her saying Stacy, Rachel read over the paperwork to see if everything was legit. Now, because I think I had said to you at the time, was this true that it happened, or is Tina lying and Rachel covering for it? Hey, Bob. Because, like, to me, Tina has a trailer. There's people in North Carolina, where she's at right now, that because of that tornado, they lost their fucking home. And if memory serves me correctly, Lexis Hensley does not live very far from them. And when Lexi could, she showed pictures of downed trees and whatnot in her area. I think Jen put up pictures of downed trees in her area. I don't believe they were hit as hard as other places in North Carolina. So if this is a legit scam, that is fucked. So if the trailer's in Albert's name, how is she homeless? Did he tell his mother, get the fuck out? Yeah, well, there's another one headed right for fucking Florida. It's going to hit the Tampa Bay area. Hi, Emily. And I mean, like, like, some places are bad. Like, oh my God, my heart goes out to a lot of these people. Yeah, Four Scores. If Four Scores could do it, he'd be the one out in the middle of the goddamn thing live streaming it. That's, but yeah, I hope Four stays safe because, yeah, Hurricane Milton's right on its way, and it's like, it's looking like by the time it hits landfall, it could be a Category 5. So, I mean, Florida's getting fucking nailed and nailed good. Like, they're being fucked so hard up the ass, and hurricanes are saying, forget the lube. And there's a lot of live streamers, like a lot of YouTubers that live in Florida. Like, oh my God. Yeah, I read somewheres in a Discord that a lot of people got the fuck out of there, and they're all now on the other side of Florida. I mean, like the Hurricane Helene, or whatever the fuck it was called. This was bad. Like, they misjudged this one. Like, I think that they just figured when it hit landfall, it would lose strength because most of them do. And this one's like, hold my fucking beer, bitches. Yeah, well, I watched a video. There was a guy. I don't know. There wasn't even like any remote alligators or crocodiles or anything remotely handy to him, and it flooded so bad. He just went out on his deck, but he didn't go down the stairs. But he pointed the camera down, And he said, I can't even let my pets go out. He said, I don't live in Alligator Alley, but he said, you see my little buddy right there? And it was an alligator poking its head up. And I said to somebody, I said, in a case like that, and I lived in an area that was that bad, I don't give a shit if it's against the law. If I'm flooded and there's a goddamn gator in my yard, I'm shooting the motherfucker. That ain't looking at me like I'm food. I got enough problems, and being eaten by a gator ain't gonna be one of them. Like, I'd be scared enough, like, if I'm in an area and it's flooded, and they all got the water moccasins and all these swimming snakes, fuck you. I am up on a 30th floor, staying 20 feet out of water because I don't trust any snakes. And this is where Morty is a smartass and say, you know, Missy, snakes can climb. Hey, Elmo. Well, Elmo, if I ever get into that situation, you can make me my gator boots and my snake skin boots and whatnot. Because I ain't getting down off the fucking lat. I'm not coming 30 feet down to that goddamn water recedes and there's no snakes in my house. Yeah, that I am so paranoid of that. We don't have poisonous snakes here, but like even when I'm going to the bathroom in the middle of the night, I always keep the toilet seat down. But I am so paranoid that there's going to be a snake come up through my toilet that I have to turn the bathroom light on. Skywarp's always like, "Hey, Missy, you got to come visit me in Texas. You got to guarantee me there's no rattlers in your area, buddy." I know, right, Emmy? Like, I am so paranoid of that. I think if I was to go to the bathroom some night and a snake was coming up my toilet, I would fucking die right there. Ew, you found one in your dresser? Was it poisonous or just like a, I don't want to say a friendly one because no snake is fucking friendly. There was like, oh my god, Dago was watching something today. It might have been the governor for the state of Florida, and he was mandating state of emergency and stuff like that. Well, that's good. It wasn't poisonous, Elmo. I think if I was to come home and like if I lived in a territory where there's nothing but snakes, I come home and I find a snake in my fucking anything. Yeah, my house is insured, but the reason I lit her up, you guarantee there's a snake in there. Morty would have fun if I ever lived in Texas. I was told that too, Wolf Den. Yeah, one coming up the toilet just poke its head there. Hey, how you doing? Fuck off. I would too, Morty. Like I'd slam the cover down, and I think my thing would be hold the cover down, and I'd be trying to flush the fucker back down the toilet. Do you know how many times, Morty, that I would tease Skywarp when you guys would get snow down there? Like I think it happened a couple of years ago. He'd never seen snow before outside of Texas. And I was telling him what to do, right? To try to keep himself warm. I'm like, has your dad got a generator? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, well, go see if it's gassed up, whatever, because if you lose power, you're going to need it. And he, the whole situation, I said, you know what I'm going to send you, Sky? He's like, what? And I said, I'm going to send you a snow shovel. He said, oh, God, don't do that. And I said, no, I'm going to send you a snow shovel. And he said, what's it going to say on it? And I said, to Texas with love from Canada. But, like, yeah, because where he was, they'd never seen snow. And I just told him, I said, it's like, you got a generator. If you need it, plug it into something, get heat into your house. I said, see if your nan's got one. Make sure your nan's okay. And but that his nan was more my concern than he was, because I'm like, you're 30 years old. You can look after yourself. But he didn't like the comment about the snow shovel. To Texas with love from Canada. And then it was like, but I said to Sky, like, because they would lose power quite a bit. And I'm like, well, you need to get offline. I said, you need to keep your phones charged. Don't be on the computer. I said, when you get your full power back, then come back and let us know you're all right. And that's what he did. And they got full power back, his dad, I was talking to him, and his dad's like, who are you talking to? And he said, Dad, this is my friend from Canada. And he said, she told me what to do to try to help, kind of. I said, fuck, snow's just like a second thing here. Everywhere in the States, you get like 2 inches of snow. Oh my God, the state shuts down. We get 2 inches and we're like, hold our timmies, we're going out snowing. Hey, Punky, you got to specify exactly which gas station tacos. Not all gas station tacos are good. We don't need Wolf Den blowing up a car trying to hold it in that he doesn't shit himself. Because, trust me, nobody wants to be in a vehicle with Wolf Den when he doesn't make it to a toilet. Nobody wants to be in a fucking car with YT when she's doing that. Bucky's, that's like a fucking giant ass 20 grocery stores in one. I was told tamales are good. If you get them from an authentic little Mexican restaurant, they're really good. But boys, oh boys, oh boys, you want to be careful. They'll blow up your stomach. Eat the tamale, eat the tamale. Yeah, my toilet will be thanking you later. Oh my god. $6 for a taco? I think I've ate once at Taco Bell and I didn't really care for the taste of it. Like, we ever go, we ever go to Texas, we're gonna look up Punky, so that she could take us but to a, I don't know, a trunk and eat. Better have a lot of Pepto Bismol with us. Pepto Bismol, Gas X, and know where the nearest bathrooms are. Punky's out to kill us. Roach Coach? I don't. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. With so many roaches running around on YouTube, I'm scared. I know how to eat good in Houston. And all you can eat tacos. Oh dear God, Wolf Den. A buffet of all you can eat tacos. I was out. I help. Like my mom can't really do a lot of grocery shopping on her own because she can't lift. Mom and I were out today, and I want to try. We saw this. I don't know. It's like I'll call it a smorgasbord of different things of sushi, like California roll, and there's a whole bunch of other stuff on it. I want to try that. To me, the California sushi roll, it looks really good. Calabash seafood buffet. See, I'm not a big seafood eater, so that would be like pointless to me. I don't know. I just want to try it that way. There, if I don't like it, at least I can sit there and say, "Well, I have tried it and I don't care for it." Oh my God! Whoever invented back scratchers, Jesus, I hope they're a millionaire. I've tried squid. I've tried squid and I've tried shrimp, and I'm telling you, man, that was not pretty. Oh, I tried. I tried shrimp, and it was just like, no, yep, nope, next. Yeah, well, the cheeseburger cost 1K. They can fucking keep it. You guys have your Thanksgiving in the States in November, correct? Because our Canadian Thanksgiving is next week. That pizza can stay right there at the pizza shop for 3 fucking K. I was so excited when I went grocery shopping last week. I found turkeys for under $20. And I'm like, oh fuck yeah. They're like 60, 70 fucking dollars now here. Can you imagine now the cost of your Christmas or Thanksgiving dinner is going to be more than what you spent on gifts for anybody? I think my gift to me is going to be the fact that I fucking could eat. Yeah, I think I got myself 2 turkeys and I got one for my mom. And they were between 3 and 5 kgs. And one I paid 15.75 for. I paid 15.24 for another one. And I paid $15 and some odd cents for it. So all three of them, they were all under $16 a piece. That's not bad. Um, unless you can make baby formula taste like Thanksgiving dinner. Because if he's only like a week old, it'll be. I would not at like 5, 6 weeks. I don't think I'd be starting solid foods that quick on a baby. It'd be interesting though to really liquefy a turkey. But if the mom's breastfeeding, she could eat it, and the baby gets the nutrients from the Thanksgiving dinner through the breast milk. So in a way, yeah, he could probably still eat the Thanksgiving dinner through his mother. Just remember, Punky, they grow up. I don't have grandchildren yet, but I do have a little nephew, and he starts school next fall. I told him he's too little to go to school. He's not allowed to leave me. Meanwhile, my niece, who's like 9 years old and in the 4th grade, she's like, well, I go to school, and I'm like, yeah, but he's too little. He's my little dude. He can't go to school. Yes. I said in a way, I said, I'm glad my brother and sister-in-law ain't having no more kids, and I can't have any more, because I'd be forever like, no. It's hard to let the babies grow up. It's hard to let them grow up, but it's fun to see like all the new things that they're doing. Like to us, it's been like, oh, we've done this before, but to take a little one, and it's all so new to them, the excitement. I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen that yet, Wolf Den, but I want to. Yeah, I was fixed after my second. I'm quite certain he tried to kill me. But it's like really weird because somebody will say to me, "How many kids do you got?" Well, technically I gave birth to 2, but I'll say there's 4 because I count my niece and nephew in them. I've watched them since they were born. I might watch the new Crow movie illegally. The Misfit Pariah channel does not promote illegal use of the internet watching downloaded pirated movies. Just putting that out there. I do not condone Wolf Dead pirating movies on here. I think that'd be cool, watching the new Beetlejuice movie. Y'all over here waiting for Beetlejuice and the Crow, and I'm sitting over here waiting patiently for The Conjuring 4, The Last Rites, The Nun 3, all these horror movies to come out. My niece was here the other day, and she wanted to watch the Halloween Michael Myers movies I have. You know what, though? I like how they're doing, but if you watch the Conjuring series, it is a fucking rabbit hole. There's 4 Conjuring movies, but there's sub movies to this series that is the rabbit hole, like the Annabelle series, the Nun series, and there's another one. Like, it's going to be a total of, I think, 20 fucking movies. And there's another movie coming out too, Punky. Ethan Hawke is coming back to play in The Black Phone too. That movie there, it scared the shit out of me, but it got me thinking. But I will say it was a good movie. It's because it does get you fucking thinking when you're watching it. No, we haven't seen that one yet. But yeah, Punky, that should be coming out. Oh my god, sometime next year. I'd like to see what, like, all I'm seeing is they're calling it the Black Phone 2, but I'm kind of like, if it's like the Black Phone origins, what made him the way he is, or the way he was before he met up with that kid. Because there's no way he's gonna come back and with a new storyline, because the kid killed him. I think they should do the Black Phone, like, kind of like they did Paranormal Activity, but without the shitty editing. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. They're gonna do a Mickey Mouse one like that. They're doing a Mickey Mouse one called Steam Willie or something like that. I forget now. Oh my god, Punky, you will never look at Winnie the Pooh the same again. You will never look at Winnie the Pooh the same. Like, you will see Winnie the Pooh in the store and be like, not today, Satan. I think it's going to be somebody else that plays that, because Will Smith, that time at the Actors Awards, that fucked him. And everybody said after, when he did what he did and he hit Chris Rock, he should never have been given that award after. Like, everybody said, he should have been stripped from that right there. Hey, Wingstar. Yeah, he did. And like Punky, if you sit back and watch like the replays of that, when he turned around, when Chris Rock made that joke about her being G.I. Jane, Will Smith was laughing at that. But if you look at when the replay, when she's looking at him, like he's fucking laughing at it, and she gave him a look that say, "Are you fucking serious?" And that's why he got up, was because she bitched at him. Yeah, like she was mad at him, like, and then that's why he was like, oh my god, I gotta vindicate my wife, and but now like her kids, I don't know, like if her kids are messed up in the head, but they're coming out and they're like, yo, mom's a fucking liar. Like, her mom was like last year. Jada was on this big, oh, me and Tupac, me and Tupac, me and Tupac. We were engaged, and her daughter, I can't remember if it was her son or her daughter, come out and said, basically came right out and said, uh, Mom, you're full of shit. And like it was coming out that for years, even with Willow growing up, Willow was confused as to who her father was because she was bashing Will to the kids because Willow wrote a letter saying, I wish you'd come back from heaven. That way, there you could be my daddy. And I mean, like, who the fuck does that? Yeah, because Punky, she was like, me and Tupac, we were engaged, and then he went to jail, and then it come out that he was not engaged to her. He was married to some girl. Yeah, like Jaden and Willow came right out, and they're like, it was a big fucking thing. Like Jaden got himself emancipated from his parents. Like he went and emancipated because she's the girl's crazy. Like if you go in and look in the docu series, like she was on the show A Different World. And it was kind of like a spin-off to the Cosby Show because it was supposed to be like um, Denise and Vanessa Huxtable when they go to Hillman College. And I think in like season 2 or season 3, they brought in Jada's character. Well, Jada hadn't been like a bona fide, I don't want to say celebrity, but she wasn't on the show long enough to say, hey, I should have top billing. And she acted like a fucking, like, a worse celebrity than anything because she figured I'm the star of the show, this is how it should be. And then they had people like the ones that have been on the show since day one. She's the reason that Lisa Bonet left. Um, Marissa Tomei was on there. She was the reason Marissa left. Like, she was a bona fide bitch. Mm. And you know what? I think in a way she destroyed Will. She really did. Because all you see on the thing is her and Will have like what, two kids? Three kids? But Will Smith actually has four. Um when in the show The Fresh Prince, when Phil and Vivian had another baby, little Nicky, The one who played baby Nikki was actually Will Smith's child. Well, apparently, her and Will Smith aren't even living together. Will's living in a mansion. I forget where they said, but she's not living there. The kids have said their mother and father don't live together. And I get, like, alopecia, a lot of people, like, that's a bad thing, like, and I'm sorry she has that, but that does not give her a green card to be a bitch to everybody. I mean, sometimes I have bad days in life, but that doesn't give me a reason to be a bitch to anybody. We were saying that earlier, Wingstar. We were saying how it was like so gross and so fake, and yeah, she does, and it's just like that's why I believe Willow and Jaden act out like they do. Well, not so much Willow. I haven't really seen anything, but Jaden, he's off the rail. Like, I can understand why he emancipated himself from them. I really can. And it's not so much Will, it's her. Because I do believe it was Jaden that come out and said, Mom, you never had no such fucking thing with fucking Tupac. And I think it was Willow that come out because all their lives they were growing up believing that Tupac was their father. Hey, Dave. But yeah, like, you can't act all Hollywood now. Like, it just. But like I said, Jada Smith destroyed her husband's career. I think the only way he would be able to redeem himself is if he divorced her. Buongiorno. Hey, GT. But yeah, like like I said, a lot of this shit with like Hollywood and stuff. I'm loving it now that it's all coming out. Like all these fucking things that the Hollywood bigwigs are doing. Um, but like I said, this is just the Diddy parties is just a minor tip to the iceberg. If they really did like I said, if they did a really major deep dive, this isn't the first Hollywood scandal that shocks the fucking world. If they really did a deep dive into anything in Hollywood, we would have no more production companies as Universal or MGM Studios because they've been doing shady shit since the fucking 20s. Like prime example, before Jean Harlow died, her husband was killed under very very unusual circumstances. Like I forget how it is, but there was a documentary on it. And because I believe Jean Harlow was signed with MGM at the time, if a celebrity from MGM or their spouse or whatever was killed, MGM would send their people in to clean up the scene, remove anything that could get their people in trouble before the police could become involved, or before this death could be called into the police and say, hey, whatever. Exactly. Exactly, Punky. Like I said, this Diddy shit is just the tip of the iceberg. There's going to be Hollywood bigwigs, and there's going to be production companies. They're all going down, and they're sinking faster than the Titanic. Hi, Eric. They really are. They're all going down. The case Fatty Arbuckle and the Virginia Rapé case. It was proven Fatty Arbuckle did nothing to her, but he was blackballed in Hollywood over it, and he legit did not do nothing to that woman. Her bladder ruptured, and that's what killed her. Well, if Diddy is smart, he will tell anybody anything that they want to know. But if this dumbass keeps his lips shut, he's going to take the blunt of it all. But I mean, I've seen people that are on the list of Diddy's parties, and yeah, it makes me kind of wonder because a lot of these people have children. When they were invited to these parties, were the children there too? Because if so, Beyonce and Jay-Z have some big fucking splaining to do. And I would not doubt that somewheres down the line that when Kanye first started out, that Kanye was at these parties, and that's why Kanye is the way he is. And different people and I have had conversations. We wonder now if Aaron Carter was murdered because he knew something about these parties. Because I'm sorry, his death is a little too suspicious. As much as a lot of people think that Aaron Carter's mother is a fucking wingnut, I do believe to an extent that it needed to be looked into thoroughly because I do believe Aaron Carter was murdered. That's a good question, Morty. If she has a brain in her head, she will divorce him. But see, look what she tried to do to Rihanna because Rihanna had Jay-Z's attention when she first came out. She was jealous of Rihanna. Yeah, and I do, like I said, I do believe that Aaron Carter was murdered because I think he might have knew something about what was going on, and I believe to an extent that it wasn't even a couple of months later. Um, Aaron's other sister, Bobby Jean, I believe Bobby Jean was murdered because she found out what Aaron knew, and they silenced her. And if Nick Carter has a brain in his fucking head, he will have that investigated a little bit better and vindicate the deaths of his brother and sister. Yeah, because I'm sorry, she's a piece of shit. Who does a song called This Ain't Texas, This Ain't Hold'em? Like, bitch, you're not a country singer. Don't sing one fucking country song and say you are a country singer. Like, yeah, okay, back in the like early 2000s, When she was with Destiny's Child, she was good. When Destiny's Child was together as a band, they were good. But because her daddy was out sticking his dick in somebody else, she got more notoriety, and then treated her other bandmates like crap. Aaliyah, I liked her. And you know what? Here's another thing. When Aaliyah died, it was like, oh my god. It was a big cover up. She was how old? And she was married to R. Kelly. And she was a kid. R. Kelly was banging fucking kids too, but it's gonna be swept under the rug what he did because oh my god, P. Diddy did worse. Yeah, because it come out, she was like, they were married when she was like 14, 15. But you watch, that'll be nothing compared to Diddy. I think when they did that show, Quiet on the Set last year, that should have been the eye opener to a lot of people as to what the fuck was happening to kids in Hollywood. Like, if they had really opened their eyes up, like Quiet on the Set, how many of those kids were being molested and whatnot at the hands of trusted officials? This wouldn't, I don't want to say this wouldn't be so like, oh my god, but it just like, I said to somebody, I said, I'd like to know what the fuck put Diddy on the Fed's radar like it did. Like, he had to have said or did something. Was he on the Epstein fucking list or whatever? Because, I mean, it just seems so like, oh my god, we rated P. Diddy and this is what, you know? Like, did his commit kids come out and say he did something? Like, this is what I can't. There's so many people that were on that Epstein list that he's going to be the one singled out. Like, I don't know. I just don't get it. Yeah, no, like I said, that was in the 90s. And I mean, R. Kelly at the time, he was at the top of his game. Aaliyah was just breaking through. We had people like Selena. And I mean, like, now that woman who murdered Selena, she's trying to get, I don't know if it's paroled or day parole. Oh, what the fuck? Salazar, whatever the fuck her name is. But like, even to this day, like, it's so fresh in everybody's mind. Selena being fucking murdered, and this woman's up for parole. Yeah, like, mine and Elmo's song, for some weird fucking reason, is Bitty Bitty. I don't know why that's mine and Elmo's song, but it's our song. It always will be our song. And yeah, like, she's going to be out, like, I don't know if it's parole or she's done her full time or what, but if they release her in Texas, it's still so fresh to everybody in Corpus Christi that that woman will be killed. Yeah, I like her song. Like I said, mine and Elmo's song is always going to be Bitty Bitty. But I really like her song Dreaming. Dreaming of You. Because it's to that song, it doesn't mean just like she's dreaming of her boyfriend or her husband. That could just mean like a family, like you could lose a family member and you're saying, I'm dreaming of you tonight. I think if Yolanda, that's her name, Yolanda, I think if she was to be released, she can't be released in Texas and she can't live there. And it's not because, like, as like, oh, we're Texas, we hate you. It's a fact of um, Selena had a very big fan base. And it just like, she was loved in Texas, especially Corpus Christi. And I mean, like, some people just might not give a fuck that she lives there, but other people do. Now, I don't believe she maliciously wanted to kill her. I do believe to an extent it was an accident because I do believe some point that she was mentally unstable and she should not have had a gun. Because I mean, like, when they she first shot her, nobody realized how bad Selena was shot. Like, they just seen it was like under, I think under her, like her shoulder, hit her shoulder or something. And it was like it was taken seriously, but everybody's like, "Oh my God, she just shot her. She'll be all right." But it ended up the bullet wherever the bullet come out, she bled to death. I don't like I said I don't believe she actually intended to kill her, but I do believe she was mentally unstable. Selena knew she was mentally unstable, and she tried to defuse the situation until Yolanda pulled out a gun. Do I believe Yolanda wanted to kill Selena? I think she wanted to scare herself with it. I do believe to an extent that she was wanting to shoot herself and not Selena, but it ended up being she fired the gun and Selena got shot. Yeah, Selena would. I think she would have been bigger than what she already was. It's sad that like the song "Dreaming" come out after she had passed. I think even if she hadn't have that song would have went number one. And like I don't know if her dad's still alive or somebody. I thought somebody said her dad passed away. He's a big he's a big motivating factor why Yolanda's still in jail too. Like, I can't remember if I seen he won't forgive her. I can't say that I blame him. Yolanda shot and killed his daughter. She shot and killed his daughter, and I mean, like, I don't want to be mean by saying she was his livelihood, but they got a museum up for her and all this other stuff. Yep. I do believe that, like, and I mean, like, Tupac, he was taken at an early age. He had a lot of songs that I really liked. Like, I I know it sounds weird, but I do love his song "Life Goes On." That song really hits home when you listen to it. And Biggie Smalls, I liked a couple of his songs. there's one song put out. I don't know if it ever like was on an album, but a friend of Biggie's called Cuban Links put out a song called "Flowers for the Dead." I, but I really like the song "Flowers for the Dead." "Angels on the Moon" by Thriving Ivory. And there's a couple more. I just can't think of what they're called, but what their names are. But they are like really good. So, but the way YouTube runs now, nobody can put songs out or anything. Nobody can play songs because they get copyrighted and shit. But yeah, like, and some of the songs that I've actually just mentioned that I've heard, I've seen them on videos that people have done for their loved ones on here. Like, especially Angels on the Moon by Thriving Ivory. Like, I think one of the lyrics in the song is "Don't tell me if I'm dying, because I don't want to know." But there's a lot of them, like, it's just, so. I don't know, my internet's acting fucky, so I think I'm going to end it here. Thank y'all for coming in. Punky, you rock. Look after that baby. Peace.